Then Professor Kinnair took me, and he is a god, we worship him. Then he told me that when we were there, he took me to the Helgoland. It's a small island in the North Sea, Helgoland, where the Professor Otto Kinnair's laboratory is there. Then he asked me to go around over the sea and see the island. I went, and then it took nearly 1 hour to cover up the 3 miles. The radius is only 3 miles of the Helgoland. Now I got information, sir, it has been reduced to 2.5 miles only. That means sea is spreading because of the global warming. It will be drowned. That is a very, very bad situation. That is why in my plenary lecture I have given that such conferences can be done. It is a very good platform for the youngsters to exchange of ideas. We have come together, so much can be done, and the new lines, whatever we do, how this is going to be useful for the society. At last I have to come, I have to recollect the Longfellow's, what is the H.W. Longfellow, he says, the heights by great men, reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight, and they where their companions slept, work without a moment's rest. Let us then be up and doing with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. Art is long, life is short, act in the living present, let the past bury its dead. If this we follow, well, you can also enter generation, you can also conduct the beautiful conference like this, you sometimes better because you are the youngsters with lot of energy. So with this, I profuse to congratulate the Department of Zoology of Bangalore University, the mastermind behind it, the godfather behind this is no other than our beloved Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. N. Prabhudev Garu, because he is the man who has encouraged this. But for him, this would not have come. But for this Vice Chancellor, this would not have come to this level. We are highly thankful to him. And we have to congratulate our dynamic Vice Chancellor. Mohan told me that he is a medical doctor. Then I felt very happy. I want to see him. I felt very glad when I met our beloved Vice Chancellor and other people who are sitting here and my so many old friends, that only I wish you all success, nothing but success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for expressing your opinions. May I request the chairman of this conference, Professor Dr. Ramachandra Mohan, to say a few words about the conference.
Good evening, Janada. Respected Prabhudev sir, my Guru, Dr. V.S. Ranganathan, Dr. Suryavamsi, Professor Rashamuddin, my one more other teacher, Dr. S. Krishnan, all delegates, colleagues and friends. I cannot tell so much things now, everybody talk. I have to tell only one thing. Late evening, one professor from IAC came, his name is Professor Dandapani, he is telling, I have never seen such a conference. From IAC person comes and tells here, this is a testimony for our conference. Second thing, my task now is, we had 7 subtopics: solid waste management, toxicology, biopesticide, environment management, human health disease, pollution, biodiversity conservation. You are all youngsters, especially I see all the youngsters who presented the original contributions. We form the committees right now on the scrutiny of results, and with the panels, we will create a recommendations, we will pass them to our Vice Chancellor. I request our Vice Chancellor to once again call a press conference and brief the recommendations. I am also worried now. In the entire world, there is 22 websites cited my conference. That means the whole world is waiting. The whole world is waiting what type of recommendations we are going to give to them. Not only in Karnataka, not only in Bangalore. I am telling now, whole world is waiting for our recommendations. Definitely we form some panels with specialized persons, take their opinion, scrutiny your all research work, we formulate the recommendations through our Vice Chancellor, will make it available to worldwide. Once again, I congratulate for a good and original contribution made to this presentations. Thank you.
Vice Chancellor of our university and Chief Patron of this conference, who has presided over this function to give presidential remarks.
Good evening, all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Ranganathan, Professor Suryavamshi, Professor Basha Mohinuddin, Krishna, and many of my faculty colleagues here, ladies and gentlemen, and the delegates of this wonderful conference. Let me at the outset congratulate Dr. Ramachandra Mohan and his team for an excellent work done. They have studied for 1 year. I remember the day when we addressed the first press conference announcing the centenary celebrations. We designed the logo, we designed a lot of things, and I'm glad that I've been a part and parcel of this great event in the history of Bangalore University, having centenary celebrations. And actually this is the second one. The first one was the chemistry department. And the theme of this conference has been great. This conservation of water and environmental pollution. So why save water? Probably must have been discussed enough and more. The planet is made up of about 70% of water, but the fresh water that is available is only 2.5%. And the present population of the global population is about 6.8 billion. It's hoping to be around 8 billion by 2020. Whether this 2.5% of water is enough to cater the needs of 8 billion people, well, that's, unless we conserve water now, it may not be possible. And second thing is that, the food scarcity that we are going to face, probably water scarcity is going to definitely affect the availability of food and the production of food, because 70% of the fresh water that is available goes into the production of food and the crops. About the food security, we don't have the lack of food. In fact, there has been a phenomenal growth in the agricultural production of food material to feed this hungry population. There is never a lack of, there has never been lack of food for distribution. There is enough and more food available to feed the hungry population. But what is lacking is the will, the political will to give food to people who cannot pay for it. The difference is just this. There is food. There is many people who require food, but majority of the people who require food are not able to pay. So this is what's called food security, and this is what is food justice. I don't know how many of the nations will follow this kind of food justice. If you're going for food justice, there will not be a single soul who goes hungry, who goes out without the next meal. So these are some of the thoughts which were just going across, and there has been a clamor for, say, digging bore wells all over. Particularly in Bangalore, it's become a fashion to dig a bore well. I just want to confess that here, 60% of the bore wells are already dry in Bangalore. The main source of water supply, maybe in 1950s and 1960s, it used to be open wells. Probably at about 20 or 30 feet down, you used to find water, and a beautiful fresh water. But then, the water started going down, the subsoil water. Then it went up to 150 to 250 feet. Then the open wells were not sustainable, and then we switched over to bore wells here. Now the bore wells from 150 to 250 feet, now it's going to 150 to 250 meters. If you consider the layers of earth, I think probably if you go below 800 to 750 to 800 feet below the strata of the soil here, probably you get what is called the fossilized water, which is not potable. Probably which contains a lot of polluted water that's available, which is not good for health, which is not good for, it gives us a lot of diseases and a lot of, infirmity with the bones, particularly fluorosis, then pollution with Escherichia coli. All these things take place below a particular level of this thing. In fact, I was just talking in the first press conference we had that there has been a decision from the government, from the corporation to dig more bore wells. So when I appealed through this conference not to dig more bore wells, but to recharge the dry bore wells that are available here. We have to cultivate the methods of rain harvesting and then probably see that these bore wells are recharged and see that the water strata is available, and we have to preserve the rain harvesting system. In Bangalore University, which is probably one of the recognized biodiversity hotspots, we are encouraging sampling, seeding of these samples. We have already put in about 35 to 40,000 samplings this year, and we want to continue it further. We want to make it at least a Laksha Vriksha Yivarsha, means a lakh of trees this year. Then probably we expect some groundwater level to grow up. It's already our estimation that it's gone up by about 5 to 6 feet. Now once we complete these another 60,000 plantations, seedlings, probably we expect the groundwater to come up by about another 12 to 13 feet, not only in Ganaparthi campus, but in the whole area of Nagarbavi, Chandra layout, and about nearly 2 to 3 kilometers in diameter in that area. See, we have decided in principle not to make our university campus a concrete jungle. See, whatever buildings that need to come up, maybe in terms of hostels, maybe in terms of departmental buildings, we have decided to go vertical. See, we will not go horizontal. We want to preserve as much of greenery as possible. In fact, we want to create, I want to request the government to allot us about, say, 250 acres of land somewhere in the green belt, so that we have to create a knowledge society, and we have to create 4 schools of excellence, particularly in life sciences, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and a knowledge society. So this is what we are looking at, and I do hope that we will be able to finalize these things with the government, and then we will be making a preliminary request immediately after this conference. I do hope, and I request the authorities of the conference to submit the vision plan that was mooted. And once the vision plan is submitted, I think we'll go as a delegation to the government, see that the education minister was handsome enough to see that they are going to implement the decisions, implement the points, and look at the observations that are made out of this conference. So I think all good things need to come to an end, and but the spirit will never come to an end. It's all on behalf of the organizing team here. I take all the blame for any fault that is any shortcoming that has come here. But all the credit should go to the management team headed by Ramchandran. Of course, they have been able to spread a good message that be kind to our deeds and blind to our faults. All the people who have spoken excellently about the conference and the way it has been conducted. Of course, the decency demands that we don't criticize the host. So there may be the generosity, they have given very good compliments, but I have no reason to believe that it's wrong. But at the same time, if you have noticed any deficiencies, be kind enough to write to me. And if you don't want to please the host, at least you can just write to me so that we can always attend to. I never say that we have been perfect. There could have been. Probably all of you have been very generous in overlooking some of our faults. And I really thank all the delegates. I think it's a wonderful conference for 2.5 days, and I think probably for the first time in the history have gone on. So even in in the Department of Cardiological Conferences, where used to be 3,000, 4,000 delegates, we used to have about maybe 5-6 panel sessions. But for about 900 delegates and about 1,000 papers and more, having parallel or 6 parallel sessions, it's a wonderful feat that is achieved. It's Bangalore has always attracted a lot of delegates from all over at least the country, if not outside. I really, I'm glad that nearly delegates from 11 countries outside, have participated and they have talked excellently about the Bangalore and its conference. I thank all the delegates. It's been wonderful having you here. And we look forward to having you here again and again. Thank you very much, Jai Karnataka.
To all of you, respected Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University, Professor Dr. N. Prabhudev sir, other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely happy to propose vote of thanks on the last day of this valedictory function. First of all, I deem it a pleasure and also I'm extremely happy to propose vote of thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. N. Prabhudev. We could not have come to this extent, this level, without his support. We had an unstinted support. On the spot he used to tell us, you go ahead with this, all the support we'll give from Bangalore University. Although we returned to many funding agencies for funding, so only few have been responded, but still we are pursuing the authorities to support this conference. So when we approached him, sir, this is what happening, he wholeheartedly said, any exigency is there, we as a university will support this program, don't reduce the activities, you just go ahead whatever you planned, he said. And he also cautioned us that whatever the thing you do here, bring out in the form of a vision document, because as many as 452 papers have been accepted, both for oral and poster, and several plenary talks delivered by eminent personalities in the field of the theme of the conference. Sir, with your vision, with your direction, we have come to this stage. I, on behalf of the Bangalore University, profusely thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time, not only in the valedictory function, but all through supporting us even in the inaugural session. We have to profusely thank you, sir. Please give him a big hand. I want to say a few words about our own Vice Chancellor. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯವನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಭೂಪಟದಲ್ಲಿ 13ನೇ ಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದಂತ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎನ್ ಪ್ರಭುದೇವರವರಿಗೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು, ಸಂಶೋಧಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ತುಂಬು ಹೃದಯದ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, because of its new innovative programs, centralized examination system, centralized admission system, which is unique in the country, where no other university has started. With his able guidance, we could able to, as a university, has been releasing the results within 2 or 3 weeks' time. Earlier, it used to take, when we were students, 3 months, 4 months to announce the results. Because of its stewardship, because of its initiative, we could able to do that. So recently, the All India some assessment has been made to, in terms of quality education, in terms of the research, in terms of student things, all that, they have ranked our university into 13th place. And the Indian Institute of Science, one of the renowned institutions in research, and there is no much teaching there, it is in the 8th place. Whereas Mysore University is in the 15th place. Karnataka University, Dharwad is in the 32nd place. Why Bangalore University has come to 13th place? Because of the initiation made by our Vice Chancellor in terms of centralized admission, in reforming its examination system. Sir, I on behalf of the delegates once again we propose thank you, sir, and we look forward to have we look forward that the Bangalore University to go to a greater heights in the future days to come, sir. This function would not have been come to an end because of our own colleagues, senior teachers, my own guru, Professor Dr. V.S. Ranganathan. He used to taught us the environmental biology when I was a student. The language command he has, the subject command he has, it is uncomparable.
wonderful teacher, researcher, all through support we had. I appointed him in Bangalore University when he was a chairperson for a day and an in-charge head of the department. That day reported for duty. So sir, I on behalf of the organizers, on behalf of the Department of Zoology, we profusely thank you sir for accepting our invitation and delivering a wonderful talk, wonderful plenary lecture. I take this opportunity to thank, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to give the plenary speaker, Professor Dr. N. Prabhudev, to give a small memento to Professor Dr. V.S. Ranganathan. Professor V.S. Ranganathan is a walking encyclopedia of science. Anything you ask, instantly he answers. If you go very rarely, you find it very people. Thank you very much, sir. So we have with us Professor Dr. Basha Mohideen. All of you know about his academic excellence, the number of PhDs, MPhils he has produced. He is a regular visitor for our department. He is a guide for us. Most of my teachers is a guide. So I, on behalf of the Department of Zoology, on behalf of the organizing committee, and on behalf of the university, we profusely thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and delivering a plenary lecture and also being a guest of honor in this valedictory function.